Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan. We're back in action here. Got the light changed out, the battery changed out, anyways, on the light. Next, we are going to do a wild turkey comparison here. Let's see here. Obviously, I don't have the light put together here yet. But what we are going to look at. So this is just a comparison. This is not going to be a blind or anything like that. But I have a standard off the shelf 1 liter Wild Turkey 101. Let's see if I can find a laser code on here. We can get a year. Well, if my eyes were better. 2023. I think this is a 2023 Wild Turkey 101 1 liter bottle. Now, the only reason why I'm even putting that year out there, or the age, or the laser code out there, is it's simply because the Wild Turkey seems to have had quite a bit of flavor drift even since I started doing this channel. So I started in 2020 in March, I think 2020, and this is January 2026. And in that time frame, I would say that the standard off the shelf Wild Turkey 101 flavor profile has had at least 3 distinct Wild Turkey profiles. So that's kind of what we're looking at. The next is the Wild Turkey 70th anniversary Jimmy Russell Relief. This is 8 years. This came out in my 25, was that 24? So this came out in 2024. And it was an 8-year product, and it was really fantastic. My hunting partner and I killed a bottle of this at elk camp, and then he gave me a bottle, so we had that. And then the last is my new bottle, Wild Turkey 101, age stated 8-year. Let's see what the laser code on this says. 2025. And let's see if what the laser code on this Jimmy Russell is here. 2024. So in theory, this 8-year Wild Turkey 101 was spawned off from this 8-year Jimmy Russell anniversary. This is a Wild Turkey 101 as well. But the anniversary edition. So this is a shelf product now, this standard 101 8-year age stated whiskey. I have not seen it here locally. Like I said, I paid, I don't know, 40 something dollars for it. See if we can bring that up here. Let's see, Wild Turkey. Tell me whiskey, Bards, Forester, Evan, really, 4 Roses. Where's my Wild? There we go, Wild Turkey. So the Jimmy Russell was $58.99. The standard 101, I paid $25 for a liter, and then this 8-year, I paid $44.99 online. So a variety of ages, but we're just going to go through and kind of compare these. Let's just go on the nose to start with. So this is the standard 101. This is my right to left, so your left to right, but this is how we're going to do it. It's kind of peanutty and a little bit of green, peanut dust and green, dusty. There we go. Now that's more of a turkey nose. Cherry, a little bit of oak, a little bit of dark sweet like molasses, dark brown sugar. There's a little bit of a floral component in there. So for me, Wild Turkey has a slight floral, like honeysuckle floral or apple blossom floral note to it, but just a little bit. And it's more of a cherry note mixed with a little bit of corn dust or peanut shell dust. That's kind of the standard nose profile for me for any Wild Turkey product. It's not, like I use the term floral and, apple are the two that I say for Buffalo Trace. Like those are the two notes that are the most dominant. So in the glass, and these are all 101 proof, so they should be a pretty close comparison. But in the nose, it's not jumping out at me, but it's, it's pretty decent in there, but it's not super hefty. But that sweet and that cherry's in there, like fruit cherry. On the 70th anniversary, it's more complex in the nose. The cherry note is lighter and sweeter as far as the fruit goes. In the standard 101, and again, this is a 2020, what did I say, 2023 edition of 101. Yeah, the Russell's is lighter, sweeter, more fruity. A little bit of oak in the background. Not getting any of that peanut dust in there at all. Almost getting a little bit of confectioner sugar or honey on the back high end of that glass. On the standard new 8-year age stated 101, gotta let that warm up just a smidge here. I'd say that is tamped. The sweetness of the cherry is turned up, but the amount of cherry is tamped down, and it is more sugary sweet forward in the nose. A little bit more molasses. I'm getting a little bit of vanilla in there, like vanilla frosting almost, just a light little bit, and then some oak in there as well. So just on nose, I would say this standard 101 from 2023 smells a little bit younger than these other two, which may or may not be the case. Now, with the bourbon boom and during COVID and the run on bourbon and everything, it's straight Kentucky whiskey, so this is at least 4 years old without an age statement on here. It's an NAS. So if you don't have an age statement, it's a minimum of 4 years old, but it does not have an age statement on it. So this can be as young as 4 years old, or it could be significantly older. But it does have a youthfulness to it in comparison. Now, coming back to it, all of a sudden this one had a little bit of a greenness to it, like a youthful greenness. Oh, a little bit of a splash out there, but it quickly went away. It was literally just that one first nose that I picked up when I picked up the glass that I got that, and now it's completely gone. So yeah, got some good stuff going on. Let's go on the palate here. So this is the standard 101. So to me, this is a really nice whiskey. But this is your everyday sipper, something cheap, something easy, something that everybody can enjoy. The proof is not dominating in the glass. It's there, yes, but what I got was a sugary sweetness up front, a little bit of caramel in the middle. The oak picked up in the mid palate along with the cherry fruit and a little bit of that proof, and then it finished out well balanced, nice, with some peanut and peanut dust. Both those two distinct notes in there, kind of starting the finish, but then quickly fading into a nice oak and a little bit of black pepper spice. Um, I mean, for just an everyday sipper, for a mixer or whatever, for the price, especially, what did I say I paid for this? $24.99, so $25 for a liter. Cheap, but man, just a good, solid, all around whiskey. Yeah, sweet up front, confectioner sugar, a light caramel syrup, cherry oak, more oak that time, picking up in the middle, and the oak's kind of finishing. It's like oak tannin and cinnamon kind of finishing it out. Super nice. I like that a lot. Um, Moving into the Jimmy Russell 70th here. Man, that cherry just is jumping out of the glass. Sweet cherry, cherry blossom, oak, sugary sweet. That time I got like a butter caramel on my left nostril going in on the sip. I don't know if it's going to help try and put these up here, or if I'm just going to take up too much room here. But I would say that the flavor profile of this matched the nose quite a bit. It was a little less bold than I was expecting. I thought there was going to be a little bit more heft in the flavor profile of that, but it was buttery, creamy on the palate to start with, sweet up front. The oak tannin was a little more dense and hefty than it was on this 101, this standard 101. But there was a lot of sweetness there, some more complexity. Um, but that heftiness came out of the gate and then quickly faded away. That there was more subtle notes there. It didn't fall off and it wasn't watery thin. It just, the notes were not bold start to finish. It started bold and then quickly turned into nice subtlety where you could kind of pick up 4 or 5 different notes finishing it out. I'm going to go in one more time. Yeah, so up front, light fruit cherry, honeysuckle, moved into an actual honey, sweetness, extra sugar, some nice oak picking up at the end of the mid palate into the finish, and from there it's just a good, well balanced oak and light sweetness, a little bit of cinnamon, spicy cinnamon, and black pepper, kind of finishing out with the proof. So super nice, well balanced, nothing spiky and out of place on that. So now going into just the regular Shelfer 8-year here. Once again, in the nose, it's very cherry and cherry blossom, fruity forward in the nose. That's kind of the main nose that I'm getting out of this thing. Going into it, okay, more nuanced, less bold and intense on flavor, creamier mouthfeel, very much a sweeter bourbon. It was a sweet caramel drizzle. It was, some like a cherry. Um, get a little bit of chocolate in there. You get a little bit of a light sweet cinnamon, a light handed with some nice oak underpinnings. The finish is well balanced and rounded. That carries on. It's still going. And it's a nice finish of oak and sugary caramel sweetness. Um, Perfectly balanced, not spicy on the finish, um, not bringing the heat at all, and just super nice, easy drinking whiskey. So here's what I'm going to say. I actually like this comparison. I like this standard Shelfer 8-year age stated Wild Turkey 101. If you can find it where you're at, go pick up a bottle if you haven't already. I think you'll be very, very happy with it. The 70th anniversary. I doubt you're going to find too many of these sitting around unless you have a liquor store kind of out in the boonies that not a ton of people actually visit, but yet you're in an area that you actually can get your hands on a lot of whiskey. I never saw these here locally at any of our stores. I do not believe. Although I'm pretty sure my hunting partner picked these up in Casper on his way through, but it might have been in Rapid City or Spearfish. I don't remember. Or it might have even been back in Wisconsin. Uh, and he brought them out. I don't remember what happened there. But anyways, he brought those. I'm pretty sure from out of state, and so that was something I would had to have ordered online. So you might want to look online. You might still be able to find that. So this is number one. This is number two. The standard Wild Turkey 101. Like I said, I would almost want to go get another bottle of this just to see what the current flavor profile sits as. But you can never go wrong with it. It is a good drinking whiskey. You get a good combination of oak and floral, cherry, a nice fruit cherry in there, a little bit of peanut. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these products. This, for the price, is by far one of the better bourbons out there. Their Wild Turkey 101 rye, also a pretty good value, although I would probably put you more into the Old Forester rye. for the same money, and it's a liter. I don't know about my wild turkey rye. I'm actually out. Yeah, I'm out of wild turkey rye. I think I took that upstairs and polished that off a couple of months ago. But the Old Forester rye is a 1 liter bottle. I think it's a little more bourbon esque than the wild turkey rye, but both of them are really good. So there you go. Just kind of as a good value in bourbon, check out the Wild Turkey 101s. If you haven't had it since college, I encourage you to go back and try it again, especially if you're getting into whiskey or if you're into whiskey. I think you'll find that it is way better than what you originally thought it was, especially if you happen to be part of a bowling league or something like that where you were doing 101 shots. Um, you'll find that it's a pretty good sipping whiskey. So there you go. Drop in the comments down below what do you think of Wild Turkey 101. I think it is just a good mainstay whiskey, and now that they have an age stated 8 year, I think you can't go wrong with that as well. But yeah, the rare breed's always a good one as well. And our next video is going to be on the Russells, which is also another good value in bourbon, I think. So stay tuned for that. So let me know what your experience with Wild Turkey 101 is. Any favorite memories you might have. Can you get all three of these bottles still in your area, or are you down to just two different varieties now? How hard is it to get your hands on one of these 70th anniversary runs? If you can get it, I highly suggest you do. It is a fabulous whiskey. I will have a great memory tied to that, just hanging out in the middle of a blizzard in Wyoming here with my hunting partner, hanging around the house and then heading out and having some fun. So, as always, thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day. Stay tuned for the Russells review, and we'll catch you in the next video.